Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Inner Ear Secrets, the podcast that uncovers what's really going on in the world of hearing. I'm Veronica.
And I'm Tiffany, and we're clinical audiology students here at the University of Melbourne. Today, we're shifting our focus beyond the clinic to explore how both hearing and balance issues can quietly affect people's daily lives and their quality of lives in ways we might not always see.
As audiology students, we're trained to focus on hearing and balance, but in complex adult cases, those issues are often just one part of a much larger picture. Many of the people we're working with are also managing other health conditions, cognitive changes, or mobility challenges. In that context, hearing and vestibular difficulties can have a much greater impact on someone's safety, independence, and overall ability to manage daily life.
Exactly, and that's where occupational therapists comes. OT support people with medical or functional challenges to live more independently, whether it's navigating the home safety, preparing meals, managing medications, or getting through the day without missing important cues.
Today, we're joined by Emily, a new occupational therapist graduate in regional Gippsland in the adults community team. Emily will be helping us explore how hearing loss fits into the scope of OT and what audiologists might be missing when we focus only on the ears.
Because even in our meetings, we do spend time showing clients how to clean their hearing aids or change their domes or their wax filters and recharge and replace their batteries. But for some patients, especially those with dexterity issues, limited mobility, memory issues, or just fine motor difficulties, there's those steps that can be really tough to manage on their own.
And that's where OTs can play a huge role. They're often the ones noticing those day to day barriers, supporting clients to actually use the devices we fit, and making hearing part of a broader plan for independence.
So, introducing Emily. Hi, Emily. Thank you so much for being here today.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
To start us off, could you tell us a bit about yourself and your role as an occupational therapist working in home and community care?
Yeah, sure. So I'm a new grad working in regional Gippsland. So my organisation that I work for, we service areas all the way to the New South Wales border and remote areas like Dargo and the High Plains. We do a lot of outreach trips to service areas that otherwise don't usually have access to healthcare. My role as a community occupational therapist is to help individuals, primarily the older population, remain independent and safe in their homes as well as the communities.
Mhm. Yeah, that sounds like a really meaningful work, especially in helping older adults stay independent and safe in their own environment. Are older adults the main group you work with, or do you also support other kinds of clients in home and community settings?
So, I guess in the area that I work for, it's mainly older adults. There are opportunities to work with adults across our team. As a new graduate, I am mainly working in the my aged care space, but we do service adults under 65 and also NDIS clients. That can also include children and teenagers. So there is a larger scope in that regard.
And we know that you work with clients who face challenges with everyday tasks like showering, dressing, or cooking. In your experience, how often do hearing or balance difficulties play a role in making those tasks harder for them?
Yep. Usually, when they have these hearing or balance difficulties, it means that they find it harder to engage in those everyday tasks. And this can often result
Mm.
in falls. And when people have falls, they often lose the confidence to engage in these tasks that are important for them and that establish daily routines. So, this fear of falling
Yeah.
often results in them withdrawing and can lead to this ongoing cycle of reduced participation. With this, also creates isolation for hearing impaired clients as they cannot communicate And so just small things like going to get a coffee down the street can actually be a really big challenge for them because there's barriers of communicating, when you're ordering the coffee, paying for the drink, and just also getting back and forth to their home. So there's lots of little barriers that we probably don't even think about that they encounter on a day-to-day basis when they're just trying to complete daily routines.
Yeah. Have there been any moments where you thought, oh, this person really needs to see an audiologist, and what's that referral process like from your end?
As we work in the community setting, we have quite an extensive wait list. So we're usually not the first health professionals to see these individuals. Yeah, if we do find someone that hasn't seen an audiologist by the time they've gotten to us, we can complete a referral for Hearing Australia or a local audiologist in the area to connect them and manage their hearing impairment. For us, that's just a matter of filling out a form and sending it to the relevant health professional. I guess for myself as a new grad, I haven't too much experience working with hearing impaired clients. But when we do home assessments, we do look at their mobility and balance. And there are times where you get clients that are quite unstable in their gait. And it's a matter of figuring out whether there's some vestibular impairment there and who we do need to put the correct referrals to. Yeah.
And like you mentioned, it's not as often that you come across clients who need extra support for their hearing aids or the vestibular issues. But as an early career health professional yourself, Emily, do you have any advice you would give to audiology students or new grads about supporting clients at home?
Yeah. So when I guess as a new grad, if you're supporting people with a hearing impairment, it's important to look at, I guess, their priorities and what their goals are in everyday routine because they might be different to, the same person that has the same presentation. And so that's also really important to consider.
Are there any, I'm curious to know, because there's a lot of risks of falls, especially with older adults. Are there any ways to prevent them? Like, are there any home modifications or support that they need, especially if they have balance issues or physiological causes to that?
Yeah. So we can assist people through a few different ways, that being sometimes home modifications. So we can put in rails and ramps and modify their environment so that they are more safe mobilizing through their home for those with vestibular impairments.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we can adapt tasks. So that can look like for someone with a vision impairment, we can use vibration or flashing devices that alert them for doorbells, alarm clocks, smoke alarms, items like that. So that way they can still participate in those activities, including, safety so that they can participate.
Yeah. Emily, we're going through the rapid fire. So just quick answers and the OT's perspective, all about working with the audiologist. So the first thing is, one thing you want audiologists to remember about what OTs do.
That's a really good question. I feel like OT as a profession is quite misunderstood. It's very broad and we specialize in so many different areas.
Yeah.
So I guess it's important to remember that for my role, I'm discussing from a community OT's point of view. And in my role, I assist with assistive technology and modifications for people to stay safe and independent in their home. OTs are, I guess, labeled as problem solvers. So we can often find ways to adapt these tasks for people to engage in just so that they can maintain that same functional capacity baseline with hearing impairments.
I guess, when do you feel like an audiologist can recommend a patient to seek an OT as a support system?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I guess if people are having difficulty due to their hearing impairment to engage in tasks, whether it's communicating with friends. They might, have a regular lunch that they go out for every week, and suddenly they can't do that anymore because they can't ring to order the taxi, and then they can't get to the cafe and order their lunch. That's kind of where we would come in and adapt ways so that they can still complete all those little important tasks so that they can engage in that activity. It's the same for the home environment. We can make the home safe as well. We can put in those home modifications or even smoke alarms. There are ways that we can adapt things.
Yeah, because we often also suggest assistive listening devices for patients with hearing loss, especially if they're living on their own, because it's more about safety and environmental awareness as well. So we do have like smoke alarms. What else do we have?
Definitely.
Like just like bells and stuff like that too.
Yeah. Oh, the one that I think it's cute. It's the dog, like I don't know. It's like, I don't know
like the Australian lion thing.
Oh. So you have a dog, and then they're trained to help you kind of navigate
people
with hearing
disabilities
loss.
or any hearing impairment, so that they can they're like guide dogs for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is very cute.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so what stops clients from using their hearing aids in your view?
So we actually had a group chat with my team about this, and some of my colleagues, we kind of brainstormed and we're just having a discussion, and one of my colleagues was saying that their clients reported that it didn't actually help them distinguish between people talking and background noise. So it actually just amplified it, and therefore they just weren't wearing them because they still couldn't hear what people were saying when they were in conversation. And a lot of my colleagues said that clients complain that they're too fiddly, or that's what old folks wear. I guess stigma around them. So yeah.
There's still quite a big stigma in some other places, say in like other cultural contexts as well, with hearing loss or even wearing hearing aids. Some prefer being more discreet with that too.
Yeah. And what you said, like the clients mentioning about making everything louder, but not actually distinguish when someone is talking. Like, I think that when they're reporting that, it's really important to go back to the audiologist to get their hearing aids adjusted. That's a really good one. Yeah. So the final question will be the biggest impact better hearing support can have on home life.
Yeah. So I guess going back to what I was saying before about people losing their confidence and withdrawing from routines and everyday tasks that are meaningful to them when they are finding it hard to complete things and they find themselves quite isolated. So if we flip that and look at implementing all these great supports like hearing aids and all the adaptive devices we can put in, it increases their confidence and reduces isolation. It helps them to stay safe at home and just manage everyday tasks. It really overall benefits their well-being and connection to family and friends.
Definitely. Those are really good points. Emily, thank you so much for sharing your insights today.
No worries. Thank you for having me.
And it's very clear that RTs play such a crucial role in helping clients just better manage their health and actually live well, to have better quality of life, especially with hearing and balance challenges, risks of falling, or even getting their confidence up there again.
Yeah, definitely. I think that OTs and audiologists can do a lot of good work together, and it's a really important space. So
yeah, especially with clients with very complex needs. It's just not enough for us to just fit the device. We have to think more about whether someone is actually using it. Like you mentioned, some people don't use their hearing aids because of the background noises they have. That's where collaboration with OTs can really make such a big difference for them.
I guess it's important for us in that like working together to kind of determine barriers, if they're wearing their hearing aids, and also for us OTs seeing it in the community space, because in their home environment, I guess that's where you kind of get that real snapshot, real picture of what the client
Yeah,
is doing. Yeah.
definitely.
Like the experience that you and your colleagues shared is really helpful and meaningful. Whether it's hearing aid use, safety at home, or even following instructions, these day-to-day details really, really matter to an audiologist.
Thanks again,
No
Emily,
worries.
and thanks to everyone for tuning into Inner Ear Secrets. If you liked this episode, don't forget to follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. And we'll be back soon with more conversations about the real world side of hearing care. See you then.
Thank you. Bye.